Welcome to Gemini season. We've now made it through each of the 4 elements. We are on our 4th sign of the astrological year. So this is an air sign. We're coming out of Taurus season, and Gemini brings like a fresh, vibrant energy. It's like a breath of fresh air. They're curious, they're quick, and they're full of duality. It's, if you think of Gemini, they're the twins. So you've got kind of like the 2 opposing forces, which can be a really interesting energy. I apologize if I sound a little bit congested, by the way. I have a cold, but I really wanted to film this today, so we'll see how it goes. The season is all about the mind, learning, communication, connecting, and then balancing this kind of mental energy with some rest and flow state. So when we think of the term duality, we're really thinking about the opposite. So with this quick energy, we want to make sure we incorporate some rest and some things to kind of ground you as well. In Gemini season, we can also easily get overstimulated. So this, if you get to this point, a gentle reminder maybe to turn off those screens, get a book, go for a walk, meditate is really great, some journaling, or some somatic exercises that get you back into your body and out of your head. So on the topic of duality, I'm going to introduce you to a really interesting recipe this month, and we're going to do 2 types of tartines, which are open-faced sandwiches. When I think of Gemini, I think of duality, and so today I'm going to show you tartines, which are like an open-faced sandwich, but 2 ways, one savory and one sweet. I got this amazing bread. This is Japanese milk bread, and I've got a chocolate loaf as well that I got from Peasant Bread Company here in Victoria, and they have actual bread boxes. I'll show you here right now this video that I made for Instagram interviewing the baker and what it's all about. It's super cool.
Hey guys, I'm Brendan, owner of Peasant Bread Company, and I love making bread. And I've been doing it for 8 years, and I had an inspirational figure in my life that introduced me to sourdough, and so I started doing it professionally about a year ago. Yeah, so the bread box, my buddy Ty, he's an enthusiast of the bread, so he came up with the idea of popping one of these in his community, just like I have in mine in the Highlands where I bake the bread, and he just had this great idea to put one in his. So we got some different types. We got a nice rustic country loaf called the Peasant Loaf. It's got spelt, rye, and red fife whole wheat. The Durham loaf has like semolina flour to give it a beautiful color and texture. We got a chocolate marbled loaf, cinnamon raisin, Japanese milk bread, and a honey oat down there. And I just keep coming up with new recipes every now and then. Top seller is definitely the Peasant Loaf, but other ones are chasing it down pretty quick. The box is every Wednesday in Esquimalt on Wollaston Street here at noon.
We're here for the bread.
So I'm going to make some tartines, which are like an open-faced sandwich, and we're going to do the 2 flavors, one savory and one sweet. This is called a Japanese milk loaf. It's slightly sweet, but it's the best kind of like sandwich bread. And then for the sweet version, I've got this amazing chocolate marble loaf that I'm going to cut up. So let's get started. And this bread's a couple days old, but that's okay because we're going to toast it anyways. Make my own ghee. Let me know. I can show you the recipe of how I make my own ghee, but it's super simple. I think grainy mustard would be really good, but Dijon also is amazing. Be generous with this. A couple pieces of oven roasted turkey breast. Geminis like to have a lot of different things to excite them. They don't like to be bored. So we're gonna do like lots of different flavors in this. We've got the spiciness of the mustard, and then we're gonna add some pickled crunch with some sauerkraut from Wild Brine. We're gonna finish this off with some jalapeno Havarti. Okay, gonna put that on the tray. And now I'm gonna prepare the sweet one. Look at this loaf of bread. Isn't it incredible? I want a nice thick big slice. Oh, look at that. It's marbled too. So again, we're going to top it off with just a little bit of ghee. And then for this one, I got some fromage frais, fresh cheese. It's fresh spreadable whole milk cheese, and it's from Little Qualicum up Island. You could use mascarpone. You could use, what's that other cheese? Creme fraiche. Oh, This is kind of like a really, really creamy cream cheese. Amaretto wild cherries in syrup. But you could also get fresh cherries or roasted cherries. For roasted cherries, you would just stick them on a baking sheet, frozen, and just bake them. Maybe with a little bit of honey, but look at this. Oh my goodness. The syrup in this is incredible. The other thing that would be really nice on this, I don't have it, is cocoa nibs or some flaked chocolate. You could get a chocolate bar and just grate it and put it on top. I'm gonna stick this on the tray and we're just gonna broil it for a few minutes. Okay, we're gonna put a bit of mint on this one. And my tried and true. Ooh. Got my fork and knife here, but I think for the savory one, it's pretty solid. I'm gonna try it out. Look at that. You might want to toast the bread first because once you put everything on it and broil it, the bread is quite soft. But if you like soft bread, don't worry about it. Now, some people might be opposed to this, but in true Gemini fashion, I'm really going to alternate between the savory and the sweet. But this one I think is definitely best eaten with a fork and knife. Those cherries steal the show. It's so fresh, but really it is. It's very fresh, light, fluffy cheese. Look at that though. Look at the syrup. It just went straight through the bread. And then when you bake the bread, the chocolate melts a bit. Forget about it. Let me know if you have any adjustments to these or other things you think would make a good tartine. There's so many different combo variations. So again, getting out of your head and back into your body. And as you know, Gemini rules the lungs. We're going to do some breathwork exercises, and these are so incredible. They help you so much and there's so many different types of breath work too. I'm just tapping the surface of the different types there are. I highly recommend getting a book or watching YouTubes on different breath works. But the first one we're going to do is box breathing. And box breathing is really good when you're calming a racing mind. It's also good to help center you before you journal or before you go to sleep. It really helps with anxiety. I use this all the time when I was having anxiety attacks, and it really, really helped. So it's a 4-4-4. Think of like a box, okay? So you're going to breathe in for 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. Hold. 1, 2, 3, 4. Breathe out. 1, 2, 3, 4. And hold. 1, 2, 3, 4. So do that a few times and you'll notice your nervous system will just start to feel really regulated. The second one is called the extended exhale breath. And this one is really good if you're overstimulated, say before or after you're going to a social function, and you just again want to like calm down. Maybe you have a big meeting coming up or presentation. This is perfect for this. So you're going to breathe in through your nose for 4. 1, 2, 3, 4, and then out through your mouth. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Again, do this a couple times and see if you feel a lot more energized and also kind of calm. The last one we're going to do is an energizing breath. So this is kind of an opposite type of breath. They call this the breath of fire or the breath of joy. It really helps shake off brain fog. It's good for the start of the day if you want to get focused, and helps move you through any sort of stuck emotion. So you're going to inhale 3 times sharp, first through your chest, then your ribs, and then your belly. And then you're going to breathe out with an open sigh mouth for 3 counts. Okay, so let's try it. Breathe in. 1, 2, 3, and breathe out through your mouth. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And again, you do this 3 to 5 rounds and see how you feel afterwards. Do you feel fresh and energized? So for our next exercise, we're going to tap into communication and writing. Geminis love to write. They love to put things into words, whether it's on pen or paper or out speaking. But we're going to do some letter writing prompts. You can write to yourself or you can write to a friend. So to get inspired into letter writing, come with me while I go to this assembly of text. So they have one location in Victoria and they also have a location in Vancouver. It is such a sweet little shop. They have cards for every occasion. They have pens, stationery, and then they have all this stuff for letter writing. But the coolest thing is they have a typewriter that you can rent for 30 minutes at a time. And you can buy your paper there and actually typewrite some letters. So to get inspired for different types of letters that you're going to write, the first one I love to do is if I'm writing to a friend, I'll ask them, do you remember about this certain memory, this certain experience we've had together? And I want you to describe it to them. What was the memory like for you? How did you remember it? And then ask them, what did you think of this memory? Or do you have another memory that's similar that then they can write back to you? The second letter that I love to write is a shameless plug of all the things you love about this person. Get creative. Think about maybe some things that they might have not heard about themselves before. Maybe they're quick-witted. Maybe they're adventurous and travel the world. I don't think we ever hear enough kind words about ourselves. We live in a society where we're really hard on each other and we get bogged down with the day-to-day. So a nice letter where you're building someone up is really sweet. You can also make a little note and put it in an envelope and tell them to open it on a day when they're not feeling so well. And it'll just give them a boost of confidence and happiness. The third type of letter you can write is one where you're asking a thoughtful question. Maybe it's like a curious question about what would you do if you had $1 million? How would you spend it? Or you had a dinner party. You could invite 8 people, dead or alive. Who would you invite to the dinner table? Again, you can answer this question or you can just ask it to them and see what they said. Other things that I love to add in letters are photos or little clips from a magazine or newspaper, a little small bar of chocolate or some tea or some stickers. Stickers are always really fun too. You're never too old to write letters, and we don't really get enough letters these days anyways. I'm tired of getting bills in the mail. Okay, now I'm taking you to one of my other favorite spots in Victoria. This is Russell's Books, and Russell's is a used and new bookstore in Victoria. They moved locations maybe 5 or 6 years ago, and it's amazing. It's 2 floors of fiction and nonfiction, and I'm going to show you a few of the books that really scream Gemini season to me. Okay, I'm here in the essay section, and I'm thinking essays would be kind of a nice change of pace. I've been reading a lot of fiction, kind of like those murder mystery books, and I'm thinking of something different. I have 3 books here, but there's a sale on today. You buy 2, you get 1 free, and they're all like $10 to $15. Please Don't Sit on My Bed in Your Outside Clothes by Phoebe Robinson. And there's a foreword by Mindy Kaling, so you know this is a good one. Zadie Smith, I've heard really good things about. Essays, Make It Scream, Make It Burn by Leslie Jameson. I wanted to find empathy exams, but they didn't have it, so I'm going to try this one. But I love the idea of reading an essay before bed because it's like 10 pages or less. Short stories. It's perfect for Gemini season, you know, when you want quick and easy wins and different stories, lots of variety. So I think I found my 3 books. So again, Gemini season is all about learning. So I'm going to mention a few podcasts that I really love that you can listen to during this season. The first one is Invisibilia, and it's produced by NPR. I will admit I haven't listened to it in a few years. The first and second season, though, are phenomenal. I'm sure the new seasons are great too, but they explore those kind of things that aren't often seen. One of my favorite episodes is someone who is blind and learned how to see or travel using echolocation like a bat. I also really like Doing It Right by Pandora Sykes, and she really explores just the different ways we live our lives and interviews some really amazing, interesting guests. I I think she did one episode where she interviewed a sociopath and dispelled the myth that like sociopaths are bad people. Found that super interesting. The last podcast is called Question Thyself by Jedediah Jenkins. And Jedediah is a writer, and he has the most fascinating friends. He's got a lot of famous friends like Adele, but he has lots of friends from unique spaces, and his conversations are always so beautiful. He explores topics like ego, love, friendship, death, and he has a really good book. Well, he's got a few books, but the book I love most is called Like Streams to the Ocean, and it has little short essays on each. So I hope you enjoyed the Gemini season vlog, and to cap off the month, I always do a journal prompt and or challenge. So we're going to think about duality, and I want you to think this season, think about the ways where you might have two feelings or thoughts at once and how you can kind of embody both of them. You don't have to push one away for the other. It could be a situation that you're happy and sad about at the same time. Maybe you're experiencing joy and grief. Maybe you have some times of rest and ambition at the same time. Like, I've got this cold yet I'm filming a vlog. That is duality right there. So think about the ways that you can show up as both. And as always, if you like this, please like and subscribe, and I'll see you soon for our next vlog, which will be Cancer season. Thank you.